Hello, Tom Maguire. I'm just going to do a very quick book review on Manifest by Roxie Nafousi. Now, this was a book that I saw on Audible. I listened to this one. I didn't read it, so I saw it advertised on Audible. I did a quick look online at some of the reviews just to give myself a bit of an idea, which isn't something I always do. Usually I've got a few books kind of lined up that I've wanted to listen to or read for quite a long time, and they kind of follows on. But this one kind of came out of the blue a little bit, and I saw that it had really, really good reviews, so I gave it a go. First thing I will say, as an audiobook, it's read by the author, Roxie Nafousi. She's got a great voice. She's obviously the person who wrote the book, so having the person who wrote the book is always really nice, I think, with an audiobook. Having them narrating is great, so I appreciated that. Manifesting is something that's really, really important if you are into personal development. If you take your own personal development at all seriously, then you probably already know that having a clear goal, having a clear idea in your mind, in your mind's eye of what it is that you want, what it is that you desire, and then the fact that you kind of consciously and subconsciously make decisions in order to get you there throughout the day. And those decisions could be tiny things, from what time you get up in the morning to what you have to drink, to whether you smile at someone or shout at someone, or lots of tiny little micro things that we might do that add up throughout the day to get us where we want to be and what it is we want to achieve. I personally felt this book felt a little bit simplistic in a way. Some may disagree with me on that one, but I've read quite a few personal development books over the years, and some of them are at risk of being a bit kind of new age hippie and a bit over the top and a bit, the universe will do this and that and higher power and the Tao and blah, blah, blah. Wayne Dyer is quite a good one, I think. I personally quite like him. Lots of people would be put off by him straight away because he seems a little bit like that, a little bit new agey. And some of the stuff he says, you kind of have to suspend your disbelief a little bit, I think, with some of this stuff. But I don't think there's any doubt that actually, if you can convince yourself that you want something enough, if you can imagine it clearly enough and keep on at that, and if that idea continues to compel you and pull at you, then you will do what it takes to achieve that. And I think there were times in this book where it kind of felt a little bit like, if I have said patronizing already, I apologize, but it did feel a little bit like that. It kind of felt as though no matter who you are, you've got no excuse. If you do the right things, if you believe, if you picture things, then you will be okay. And actually, let's face it, for some people, it just isn't that simple. I'm not saying she suggested that for those kind of people. I don't think she did. But it felt a little bit that way at times. And there will be people who don't appreciate that. I personally found it quite inspiring. I think if you are keen on personal development, you're keen on manifesting, then definitely give it a go. I'd recommend it. But there isn't a hell of a lot there, to be fair. If you've read or listened to a lot of books, not even just on manifesting, but personal development books in general, you will have pretty much heard all of this stuff already. The only thing really you will get from this book is it's maybe a bit more succinct, and there's a fair few personal stories from Roxie Nafousi's life, which you may or may not relate to be fair. I kind of did relate to some of them because I'm a dad and got young kids and consider myself extremely lucky in that respect, so I related to some of those things. But dare I say, it was a bit more female based, I think, possibly. She is quite a female, I would suggest. Someone might tell me off for saying that, but I don't particularly care. That was how it felt. I don't see that as anything bad. That's how it seemed. So maybe if you're a girly girl, career driven, want a family, want a partner, then this would probably suit you quite well. If you're not, and I know plenty of women who aren't that way, they might be potentially a bit insulted by this book in some ways, which might sound a little bit silly, but I think there is a case there to be made, to be fair. But I enjoyed it. I would quite recommend it. I don't think there's any harm in listening to or reading this book with an open mind. It was quite an enjoyable listen, to be fair. Like I say, narrated by Roxie Nafousi. She sounds good. She knows her stuff. Look her up on YouTube. She's done there's loads of videos on YouTube. She's been on Good Morning as well, I think. But yeah, a good book. I would say, to summarise, a really good book, but I don't think it lives quite up to the 4 or 5 star reviews that it was getting. If you look on Goodreads, I think it gets like 4.5 stars out of quite a number of reviews, and I don't think it necessarily deserves that compared to some of the stuff I've read and listened to. But continue to like and subscribe, please. I appreciate it, and I will be back again very soon in my next review. Cheers.